October 16th, 1946, 2:30 a.m. Nuremberg Prison, Germany. Cell #5. A guard opened the door. Hermann Göring, Nazi Germany's second-in-command, scheduled to hang in 8 hours, was lying in his bed. Dead, a cyanide capsule in his mouth. But here's the mystery. Göring had been searched every single day for months. His cell was constantly inspected. Guards watched him 24/7. The prison was more secure than a bank vault. So, how did he get the poison? Who smuggled it? 78 years later, we still don't know. The Americans launched an immediate investigation, interrogated guards, searched records, questioned visitors, found nothing. Göring had outsmarted them all. One final victory. But let's rewind. Who was this man? How did a morphine-addicted, 320-pound Nazi leader transform into the sharpest defendant at the Nuremberg Trials? And how did he pull off one of history's greatest prison mysteries? This is the story of Hermann Göring. The man who dominated the courtroom had an IQ of 138 and took his secrets to the grave. Hermann Wilhelm Göring was born on January 12, 1893, in Bavaria, Germany. His family, aristocratic. Father Heinrich Göring was a diplomat, had served as governor in German colonies. Hermann received military education from childhood, cadet school, discipline, hierarchy. World War I, 1914 to 1918. Göring became a fighter pilot. Ace, 22 confirmed victories, shot down 22 enemy aircraft. Won the Pour le Mérite, Germany's highest military honor, the Blue Max. After Manfred von Richthofen, the Red Baron, died, Göring commanded his squadron. The war ended. Germany lost. The Treaty of Versailles crushed Germany. Göring was furious. We were betrayed. We weren't defeated, we were stabbed in the back. 1920s, Göring returned to Munich. Depressed, no money, war hero but unemployed. 1922, met Adolf Hitler. Hitler was a small party leader, NSDAP, Nazi Party. Anti-Semitism, rage against Versailles, German nationalism. Göring was captivated, joined Hitler. Hitler gave Göring an important role. Commander of the SA, Sturmabteilung, stormtroopers. 1923, Beer Hall Putsch, coup attempt. Hitler and Göring attempted a coup in Munich to overthrow the government. It failed. Göring was shot, hit in the groin, escaped bleeding, fled to Austria. During treatment, morphine was used, painkiller. Göring became addicted. For years, he took morphine, 20+ pills a day. 1933. Hitler came to power. Göring became #2 in the Nazi regime. Main positions, Reichsmarschall, highest military rank. Only Göring had it. Luftwaffe commander, German Air Force, Gestapo founder, secret police organization, 4-year plan, economy, war preparation, Hitler's designated successor. If Hitler died, Göring would be leader. Göring became rich, very rich. Estates, art collections, most stolen from Jews, hunting palaces. He started becoming obese. Morphine addiction continued. Colorful uniforms, jewels, extravagance. His role in the Holocaust. July 31st, 1941, Göring wrote an order to Reinhard Heydrich. Submit to me a comprehensive plan for the final solution of the Jewish question. This order became the official beginning of the Holocaust. Göring signed it. Millions of Jews were murdered in concentration camps. Göring was responsible. As the war progressed, Göring's power decreased. The Luftwaffe failed, lost the Battle of Britain. Hitler grew cold toward Göring. April 1945, Hitler in Berlin bunker, Göring in the south. Göring sent a telegram. Führer, if you're in Berlin, should command be mine? Hitler was furious. Treason? Göring wants to overthrow me. He expelled Göring from the Nazi Party, ordered his arrest. But a week later, April 30th, 1945, Hitler committed suicide. The war was over. Germany was surrendering. Göring tried to escape, but the Americans found him. May 9th, 1945. American soldiers, 36th Infantry Division, captured Hermann Göring. He was hiding in a hotel in Bavaria. The Americans were shocked. Göring weighed 320 pounds, 145 kilograms, obese, could barely walk, morphine addict, hundreds of pills in his bag, covered in jewels, medals, colorful uniform, ostentatious. Americans, this is Hitler's successor. This man commanded the war. But Göring was also polite, talkative, spoke English. To American generals, I am Hermann Göring, Reichsmarschall. I want to speak with Eisenhower. The Americans arrested Göring, took him to Nuremberg Prison, where Nazi war criminals would be held and tried. Göring was put in his cell. First day, he asked for morphine. Doctors, no, detox, we're cutting off your addiction. Göring suffered. Morphine withdrawal syndrome, trembling, sweating, nausea, pain, panic, insomnia. It lasted for days. Göring nearly went insane, but the Americans were determined. You must be healthy for trial, no morphine. Slowly, Göring detoxed. Morphine addiction ended, and something changed. Göring started losing weight, lost 60 pounds, 27 kilograms, 320 pounds, 260 pounds. His face sharpened, his eyes cleared. Mental clarity returned. The morphine fog had lifted. October 1945. Göring was a different man, not an obese morphine addict. Sharp, intelligent, dangerous dot. At Nuremberg Prison, the Americans gave IQ tests to the Nazi defendants. Why? Are these men stupid fanatics or intelligent criminals? The results were shocking. Hermann Göring, IQ 138, very superior intelligence, only 2% of population scores this high. Hjalmar Schacht, IQ 143, highest, but he was acquitted. Karl Donitz, IQ 138. Arthur Seyss, Inquart, IQ 141. Albert Speer, IQ 128. Joachim von Ribbentrop, IQ 129. Rudolf Hess, IQ 120. Göring had one of the highest IQs among the major Nazis. What does IQ 138 mean? Understands law better than some lawyers, can predict prosecution strategy, can teach other defendants how to answer, can control his own testimony perfectly, can plan the perfect final escape. The Americans were worried. Göring isn't just a war criminal, he's a strategic genius. November 1945. Before trials began, Göring started meeting with other Nazi defendants. He gave them instructions: nobody show remorse, defend Nazi ideals, protect Hitler. History will judge us. Some defendants listened, some didn't, like Speer. But Göring was the leader. Even without Hitler. November 20, 1945. The Nuremberg Trials began. Courtroom 600, Nuremberg Palace of Justice. 24 defendants, but only 21 were tried. Hermann Göring, Reichsmarschall. Rudolf Hess, Hitler's deputy, but mentally unstable. Joachim von Ribbentrop, foreign minister. Wilhelm Keitel, Wehrmacht chief. Ernst Kaltenbrunner, Gestapo, SS. Alfred Rosenberg, ideologue. Hans Frank, Poland Governor-General. Albert Speer, armaments minister. Julius Streicher, anti-Semitic propagandist. Martin Bormann, in absentia, had fled, probably dead, and others. Charges, 4 counts. Conspiracy to plan war. Crimes against peace, starting aggressive war. War crimes, violating rules of war. Crimes against humanity, Holocaust, civilian massacre. Judges, 4 powers, USA, Britain, France, Soviets, 1 judge plus 1, alternate from each country. Prosecutors, Robert H. Jackson, USA, Supreme Court Justice, lead prosecutor. Hartley Shawcross, Britain, Francois de Menton, France, Roman Rudenko, Soviets. Technology, simultaneous translation, invented here. 4 languages, English, German, French, Russian headphones, interpreters, IBM technology. This system is still used today, UN, international courts. First day, defendants entered the courtroom, Hermann Göring in front, no longer obese, lost 60 pounds, looked sharp, no uniform, just gray suit, no medals, but still dominant. Other defendants looked to Göring, still the leader. Göring sitting, front row, center, alpha position. Charges were read. Each defendant must say, guilty or not guilty. Hermann Göring, first defendant. Göring. Ich erkläre mich im Sinne der Anklage nicht schuldig. I declare myself in the sense of the indictment, not guilty, but he said it long, dramatically, like Nazi propaganda. Judge cut him off. Just say not guilty. Göring smiled. Had sent his message. I am not surrendering. The trials lasted months. November 1945, October 1946. 403 sessions. First months, prosecutors presented evidence, documentary evidence, millions of pages of Nazi documents, witness testimony, Holocaust survivors, Nazi victims, film footage, concentration camps, liberation, horrific images. The courtroom fell silent. Film was shown, Bergen-Belsen, Auschwitz, Dachau corpses, piles of naked bodies, gas chambers, ovens. Some defendants bowed their heads, cried like shocked. Speer. Göring? No reaction. Cold, emotionless. April 1946, Göring's turn to testify. Defense lawyer asked questions. Göring told his story. For 2 weeks he spoke. Charismatic, effective, defended the Nazi regime, tried to protect Hitler. Then Robert Jackson's turn came. Jackson was America's best prosecutor, Supreme Court Justice. Brilliant, prepared. He would cross-examine Göring. Jackson was confident. Göring is guilty. Evidence is clear. I'll destroy him. But Göring was ready. IQ 138. Had watched trials for months. Knew Jackson's tactics. First day of cross-examination, Jackson asked a question. Long, complex. Jackson made a tactical error. Should have been simple. Göring smiled, answered, but twisted Jackson's question. Jackson was confused, asked the question again. Göring twisted the answer again, added Nazi propaganda. Hours passed. Jackson got angry. Judge had to intervene. Mr. Göring, just answer the question. Göring, I am answering, Your Honor, but the question was unclear. Jackson felt humiliated. Second day was worse. Jackson was angry. Questions aggressive but disorganized. Göring stayed calm, witty, sarcastic. At one point, Göring asked Jackson a counter-question. Judge, defendant cannot question the prosecutor. Göring, apologies, Your Honor, I was just clarifying. But damage done. Göring was controlling Jackson. Cross-examination ended. Press wrote, Göring won. Jackson humiliated. Other defendants were shocked. Even Göring beat them. Maybe we can win too? In following weeks, Göring coached other defendants, sent notes between them. Guards sometimes caught them. Don't show remorse. Defend Hitler. Control your testimony. Some listened, some didn't, but Göring's influence was clear. June 1946, testimonies ended. Prosecutors made closing arguments, defense lawyers too. The tribunal withdrew, would decide verdicts. And what happened next would determine Göring's final act of defiance. September 30, October 1st, 1946. Verdicts were read. Hermann Göring, guilty on all 4 counts. Conspiracy crimes against peace, war crimes, crimes against humanity. Sentence, death by hanging. Göring showed no reaction, cold, expected it. But inside, he was angry. Hanging? I'm a soldier. I should be shot. Hanging is dishonorable. Other verdicts, 12 defendants. Death, Göring, Ribbentrop, Keitel, Kaltenbrunner, Rosenberg, Frank, Frick, Streicher, Sokol, Jodl, Seyss, Inquart, Bormann in absentia. 3 defendants. Life imprisonment, Hess, Funk, Rader. 4 defendants. Prison terms, Donitz, 10 years, Speer, 20 years, Neurath, 15, Schirach, 20. 3 defendants. Acquitted, Schacht, von Papen, Fritzsche. Göring returned to his cell. Execution date set, October 16, 1946, 10 a.m., 10 days away. Göring to guards, I want to die as a soldier. Firing squad, hanging is dishonorable. Request denied. Sentence is hanging. No exceptions. Göring was furious, but he was making a plan. I won't give them a show. They won't hang me. But how? Cell searched every day, guards watching 24/7. Göring already had a plan. October 15th, 1946. Göring's last day. Tomorrow morning he would hang. Göring was calm all day. Wrote letters, read books, ate dinner, talked with guards, nothing suspicious. 9:30 p.m., final check. Guard checked the cell. Göring in bed, reading. Good night, Göring. Good night, 10:15 p.m. Guard looked again. Göring still reading. 11 p.m., lights weren't turned off. Execution night, lights stay on. Göring went to bed. 2:15 a.m., guard checked. Göring appeared to be sleeping. 2:44 a.m., guard looked again. Göring motionless, too motionless. Guard sounded alarm. Something's wrong. Cell opened. Doctor called. Göring in bed, dead. A cyanide capsule in his mouth. Hermann Göring was dead. He was supposed to hang in 8 hours, but committed suicide. Americans shocked. Panic. How? We searched him every day. How did he get cyanide? Immediate investigation began. Prison commander, guards, doctors interrogated. Göring's belongings searched again. Visitor logs examined. Mail records reviewed. Nothing found. Theories. Theory 1, hidden in belongings. When Göring was captured, he had luggage. Americans searched, but maybe missed something. Cyanide, very small. An ampule, a capsule, could be hidden. But Göring's belongings were searched many times, for months. How could it stay hidden that long? Probability, low. Theory 2, guard smuggled prime suspect, Lieutenant Jack Tex Lee. Tex Lee was Göring's guard, had friendly relationship. Göring was charismatic, talked with guards, made jokes, maybe convinced Lee. Money, ideology, investigation. Tex Lee interrogated. Lee denied, I didn't smuggle anything. Göring manipulated someone, but not me. No evidence found. Probability, medium. Theory 3, wife or lawyer smuggled Göring's wife. Emmy made visits. Lawyers too. Every visit monitored, searched, but maybe something was missed. Kiss during visit, hidden in documents, investigation. Emmy, Göring, and lawyers interrogated, all denied. Probability, low. Theory 4, German sympathizer 2005, Herbert Lee Stivers, U.S. Army private, gave an interview, claimed, I helped Göring. A German girl gave me the capsule. I smuggled it to Göring. Why? I felt sorry for him. I didn't think he should hang. But Stivers' story was inconsistent. No proof. Historians skeptical. Probability, dubious. Theory, 5. Göring already had it. Most interesting theory, Göring already had cyanide when captured. Nazi leaders carried cyanide, suicide option. When Göring was captured, he hid the cyanide somewhere, mouth, rectally, in belongings. Americans searched but didn't find it. Too small, too well hidden. For months, Göring kept it hidden, used it at perfect timing. Probability high. Many historians favor this. Conclusion: 78 years later, we still don't know. Göring's final victory took his secret to the grave. October 16, 1946, 6 a.m. Göring's body was displayed. Prove he's dead. Americans wanted to show the world, Göring is dead. Didn't hang, but he's dead. The other 10 Nazi leaders were hanged that morning. Joachim von Ribbentrop, first. Wilhelm Keitel, Ernst Kaltenbrunner, Alfred Rosenberg, Hans Frank, Wilhelm Frick. Julius Streicher, last words, Heil Hitler, guards disturbed. Fritz Sockel, Alfred Jodl, Arthur Seyss-Inquart, last, all hanged, bodies photographed. Proof, except Göring, he was already dead, but his body was still photographed. To show, bodies cremated, ashes scattered in Isar River near Munich. Why? No graves, no shrines, no Nazi pilgrimages. Allies didn't want to create Nazi martyrs. Göring's final letter. Before dying, Göring wrote a letter to Allied command. Summary: I am a soldier. I refused hanging. Use cyanide. This is my right. Final act of defiance. Letter was found, read. Americans were angry, but nothing they could do. Did Göring win his final battle? Debate continues. Argument 1. Göring won. Denied Allies their hanging spectacle, controlled his own death. Autonomy. Final fuck you to enemies. Mystery still unsolved. Legendary status. Argument 2. Göring lost. He still died. Outcome same. Guilty verdict stands. Legacy equal sign. War criminal. No escape from justice. Dead either way. Coward's death. Suicide, not soldier's execution. Historians split on this. Legacy. Hermann Göring today. War criminal. Holocaust architect, mass murderer. Intelligent villain. IQ 138. Strategic genius. Complicated figure. Charismatic, but evil. Nuremberg's most famous defendant. Dominated trials. Unsolved mystery. Cyanide source unknown. Modern relevance. Nuremberg principles. Following orders equal. Sign not in defense. Still used today. International Criminal Court, ICC. Traces to Nuremberg war crimes law. Nuremberg precedent. Crimes against humanity. Term coined at Nuremberg. Göring helped create the legal framework that would judge war criminals for generations. Irony, his trial changed international law. Final thought. Hermann Göring was brilliant, IQ 138, charismatic, dominated courtroom, organized, planned perfect suicide. But he was still a mass murderer, intelligence, morality, charisma, goodness. Göring was responsible for the deaths of millions, signed off on the Holocaust, gave the final solution order. And in the end, he couldn't escape justice. Hanged or suicide doesn't matter. He died as guilty. But the mystery remains. How did he get the cyanide? 78 years later, we still don't know. Maybe we never will. And this is the story of Hermann Göring, Nazi Germany's #2, the man who lost 60 pounds, IQ 138, who outsmarted prosecutors at Nuremberg, and who took his secrets to the grave with one final act of defiance. If this story shocked you, don't forget to subscribe, because sometimes history's darkest moments teach the most important lessons. Hermann Göring proved that.